Woman looked up, her eyes glimmering like the last rays of sunlight on a darkening horizon. Child, your words may sting like thorns, but they reflect your own ignorance. Be wary, for a day may come when the folly of youth must face the wisdom of age. But Zuri laughed, as light-hearted as a breeze. I fear nothing from you, old witch. With a sigh filled with the burdens of countless lifetimes, the old woman raised her hands toward the sky and chanted an incantation, her voice low yet powerful. May your defiance bring you everlasting truth, for you have sealed your fate by mocking the stories embedded in these wrinkles. You shall know the weight of eternity, little girl. And with that, a thick mist enveloped Zuri, and in one swift motion, the world spun away from her grasp. The cries of the market blurred, the warm earth beneath her feet dissolved into shadow, and when the fog cleared, she found herself alone in a dark forest, stars dancing mockingly above her head. At the edge of the woods, a fading road wound its way to the village, but she couldn't go back. The curse was cast. The forest was alive in a way the village had never been, filled with whispers and movements she could not name. The trees loomed ancient and tall, their branches stretching like arms heavy with secrets, their roots twisting across the earth like veins. Strange flowers glowed faintly under the moon, releasing scents that made her dizzy with longing and fear. Days turned into weeks, and Zuri wandered through the shadows of the forest, encountering creatures both glorious and grotesque. She met a wise owl who regarded her with knowing eyes, and when he spoke, his voice was like the rustle of leaves in the wind, warning her that time without end was both a gift and a prison. She met a mischievous fox who played pranks, stealing her woven sash only to return it knotted in clever patterns she could not undo. Ancient trees whispered tales of forgotten times, their hollow trunks echoing with voices of those who had once walked the earth before her. Despite her loneliness, she found herself awaiting the dawn, for each sunrise rekindled her hope of returning to her old life. But her hope was dimming, and each day the weight of the curse pressed harder upon her spirit. She soon discovered that as she aged in the forest, she could not die. Each time she faced peril, a fall from a great height that should have broken her bones, a chilling encounter with wild beasts whose fangs snapped too close to her throat, she simply emerged unscathed, still in her youthful form. She was both ageless and trapped, moving through time like a ghost who could not pass into the light. She saw seasons turn endlessly, leaves budding, greening, falling, and returning again, but her reflection in the river remained unchanged, mocking her with its untouchable youth. One day, as Zuri wandered into a hidden glade, she came upon a gathering of aged women, their eyes glistening with the wisdom of the ages. They were the very elders she had scorned, now ethereal beings of light and shadow, wreathed in memories of joy and sorrow. They danced slowly, each movement carrying centuries of grace, their voices humming in harmony with the wind. Moved by their beauty, Zuri felt a pang of regret in her heart. Despite her yearning to join their circle, she could only watch, forever distanced from the warmth of their presence. In that moment, Zuri realized the true power of the curse. She was no longer to be a participant in life, but merely a spectator, cursed to watch others laugh and age while she remained in her youthful shell. The laughter of the village was a requiem, echoing her misdeeds, and every wrinkle she once mocked became a symbol of stories she would never know. She wandered further still and encountered a river whose waters sang softly of lives lived and lost, each ripple a memory, each wave a forgotten name. She tried to drink, but the water slid past her lips, leaving no taste, no satisfaction, as though life itself had denied her touch. She walked through meadows where children of spirits played, and faded before her eyes, leaving behind only the sound of joy she could never join. She came to mountains where ancient faces of stone looked down upon her, unmoving and eternal, reflecting her fate. As the moon began to rise, bathing the glade in silvery light, Zuri fell to her knees, tears streaking down her face. "Oh, wise one," she whispered into the night, "I see now that beauty cannot be measured by the surface, but by the depth of experiences and the love we share." In that sacred moment of sincere humility, the old woman's